You know what's fun to do in the summer?
Write a postcard.
And sleep.
Oh, I love sleeping so much.
I figured that would be the first thing you'd go to, not write a postcard.
Well, I know the episode title,
You do.
but man, I do love
There's a
sleeping.
lot of
I don't get to
sleeping that gets to
sleep
go
over
on
the
then.
summer.
You
It's
don't.
really upsetting.
It's a big bummer.
The worst.
But there is a lot of sleep that happens in this episode. A lot of dreaming.
Yeah, a lot of dreaming.
That's what we're going to be discussing today here on this week's Jared and Al Watch K-On! It's episode 27, where we are discussing season 2, episode 13, entitled Late Summer Greeting Card. I'm Jared, that is Doc Al and Ladium.
Hello.
So let's dive into some late summer greeting cards and some dreams and some naps and some big yawns. Some Ralph buddies.
Ralph, buddy, big yawn. People won't get that.
No, they won't. That's fine. I feel like a lot of things in these podcasts that we talk about, people will be like, "What?"
It's a phrase that I have somehow picked up that I don't actually know what it means. That whenever somebody yawns, they say Ralph, buddy, big yawn, and then you picked it up.
From you, yes, of course.
Yes. So
There you go.
So we're following Azusa
Mhm.
mainly here.
She's bored.
She's a sleepy gal.
She doesn't know what to do because the seniors are off studying for summer school and for entrance exams, all that stuff. So she's kind of off on her own, not knowing what to do. And she's trying to think of a good greeting message to send to them while they're studying. And she writes out like 3 or 4 words, like nah. And then Yui like sends her ones like, "We're all studying." She's like, "Holy crap, Yui's studying. What is this?" She gets an image of them in the library. She's like, "Holy crap, they are studying."
She's still sunburned from the summer festival.
She
thing.
is. You only see Yui, Ritsu, and Mio in the picture because Mugi's in Finland on summer vacation. So she is out of the picture for the time being.
Make it sound like she died off camera.
Azusa declares that she's going to have fun.
Yep.
And then we immediately see afterwards that she's bringing a watermelon to Ui. And she's like, here's a watermelon. And also,
It's summer.
It's summer. We got to have a watermelon. So Ui chops it in half and like, my big sis has always wanted to have half a watermelon and eat the bits around the seeds. All the while, like, Yui's upstairs playing guitar. And Ui leaves the watermelon for Yui, and then you just hear like her guitar get like real fast and speedy, and like it's like, oh, she must be real happy. And then
She's like, she plays different when she gets in different moods.
yes, but she also remembered that, or I guess like I think Ui tells her that they just had tempura, and Azusa remembers like, oh no, that's a bad mixture. And she's like, I gotta tell her. And then you just hear her music get real depressing and sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a mixture of 3 things. It was the tempura, the watermelon, and like
Shaved ice at the end.
no, it was some other kind of noodle dish.
Oh.
Anyway, because I was like, I don't understand what this thing is about.
Well,
Like, we'll talk about that.
Let's talk about it because we have trivia in this episode for once.
Whee!
And one of them involves that exact thing. Azusa's warning about tempura and watermelon giving stomach aches is based off an East Asian medical philosophy called Kuiawase, which claims that some food should never be eaten together. Because it'll give you a stomach ache, I guess. It'll be like, whoa.
Which is why the music turned sad.
Mm-hmm.
She has a stomach ache.
Anyways, Azusa wakes up and Ui's at the door. So she had her first dream.
Although she does say, like, who are you?
Yeah.
And she's like, you came to my house. You know who I am.
They decide that they're going to go to school, visit the jazz club, and see what June's up to. Bring her a care package of sweets. But when they get there, they realize that there's no one in the jazz club room, so They go to the faculty office, see Miss Yamanaka, and she's like, "Yeah, they're all gone. I'm the only one here." They're like, "Oh, okay." Ui gives her like a little thing that they had, and then Ui and Azusa go up to the light music club room and just kind of chill out there, eat some sweets, and then they're like, "Let's go see a movie." And Azusa's like, "Let's go see a scary movie. Ooh, spooky."
Ooh, spooky.
Uh,
It's like child's play, basically.
yeah.
It's a creepy doll.
This cuts to them going to see the horror movie in the theater. In the middle of the movie, Mio just shows up.
Yep.
And I was just like, why is Mio here? She wouldn't go see a horror movie on her own. Or maybe she's trying to get more tough against scary things. So Azusa gets scared by a bunch of things, and she keeps noticing that Mio is just not moving. She's unflinched. She's like, this is really strange. What's happening? And then like the third time that it happens, she's like, oh, I gotta see what's happening. Maybe she's just real tough, or maybe she's just passed out, and it's just Mio passed out in the seat.
Yep. And then her cell phone goes off.
And she's like, oh, why is her cell phone going off? We were told to silence our cell phones at the beginning of the film, which granted she did show up late, so she wouldn't have heard that.
That's true.
But it wakes up Azusa again because it's Ui's phone, and Ui's also asleep. She's like, oh. And it's a
you can always tell the difference because of the suntan.
Yes. I was waiting for you to say something at first because I remembered that was the thing, like, pretty quickly. To be like, is there some like weird continuity error here where she's like went from suntan to not suntanned? But yeah, the easy way to tell that she's dreaming is that she will go from being completely suntan to pale as pale can be. Nothing's happened. The message they get is June sending them a message that she's in the boonies and she doesn't want to be there, but she's visiting her grandparents for the holiday. Azusa and Ui do go to the cinema.
Mm-hmm.
They decide not to go see a horror movie, though.
They go see like a dog movie.
They go see a sad dog movie, as you do. They realize there's a wait in between the showings of that movie, so they go kill some time. This is when Azusa realizes, like, oh, I haven't sent my messages out. Maybe I'll get some postcards since I have to hold off on spending money because I spent a lot at Natsu Fest. They also consider getting a part-time job as Ui's reading some like magazine, which I found funny that the magazine title was Waku Week.
Waku Waku.
Yes. And then immediately they're both working. They're working the lottery booth. And they realize there's 2 prizes left. There's a tissue pack and a grand prize trip to Finland. And then here comes Mugi.
And she wants the tissue so bad.
I was like, were you just in Finland? And Mugi's like, yes, but I came back a day early just so I could do the lottery draw. And I really want these tissues. And she's like, oh, God, please do not let her get the grand prize trip to Finland.
Yep.
She gets the pack of tissues, and it's like a giant pack of tissues and a tiny pack of tissues. She's very happy. And then they're like, here, Azusa, you get to do the next draw. And then she wins the grand prize. And then immediately during the dream, Azusa's like, wait a minute. This is a dream. They're like, well, no, you get to go to Finland. She's like, no, pinch my cheeks. And they like pull and pinch her cheeks. And you're like, I can't feel anything. She then wakes up again, and she realizes she slept through the entire movie as she wakes up as the credits are rolling. It's a bad time. You would think, like, considering as she starts off the stage like being like, man, I'm so tired, I didn't sleep well. Like, why would you go see a movie? That's just, you're just gonna fall asleep regardless.
Yep.
So we go to the next day where Azusa meets up with Ui and June, who's back from her stint in the boonies, and they go to the pool. They see the extent of Azusa's sunburn, where it's just like very strange looking, not all over like it would have been normally. They're like, you should cover up like everything, and it's just a picture of her like just jumping into a pool like just all covered up. And you're like, no, that would make me look even more weird. We also learned that June is jealous of the Light Music Club's extracurricular activities, even though she tries to hide it. So Azusa goes off to basically try and even out her tan. Ui and June play with the ball in the pool, and then they're like, let's go see what Azusa's doing. And then immediately Azusa's on top of a giant slide, getting ready to do that. And then Ritu just shows up out of nowhere selling yakisoba. And she's like, this is the yakisoba slide. You gotta eat yakisoba as you come down the slide. And then you just see Yui, Mugi, and Mio eating yakisoba as they go down the slide.
Sliding down.
And she's like,
It's really, really wild.
I don't want to do it. No. And she's like, nope, you gotta do it. There you go. Going down.
No choice. Bye. She just puts it on her head.
Just sends her on her way. Basically, eventually, Azusa wakes up again because this was another dream, which you could tell this was a dream as well because she was, I think, fully tanned.
Mm-hmm.
But even though she wakes up and she actually is fully tanned, so there you go. They all get yakisoba for lunch, oddly enough. And then Azusa remembers how Mugi wanted to get yakisoba, but the whole place was sold out, and that leads to June being like, "I'm jealous." Ah! And then Azusa has to basically tell them like, why? How do you keep going on all these fancy trips and everything? We don't have enough members, so we just save up on club funds. Yep, that's it. Not that we have a rich club member, and we can get into concerts for free because of our advisor. Yay!
Yay!
After that, they leave the pool and they run into the rest of the girls as they're off to go to the summer festival, and Yui just sniffs Azusa. He's like, "You've been to the pool." Please don't sniff me.
Yeah, sniff, sniff, sniff. Please don't sniff me.
You've been to the pool.
And then she's like, yes, we were just at the pool.
So they all go to the festival. Yui gets Azusa some charred corn, and she eats it
The
like
grilled corn.
Yeah, she eats it like it's like a rodent. Like,
and then she comes out, she's got it all over her face. She's like, this is how you eat it. And then so Azusa like takes like a little bite of it and is like, it's kind of charred, but it's delicious.
The charred bits are my favorite.
It's so funny that she eats it like a dang rodent.
She's a goofy gal. They get some shaved ice. They all get like different flavors. Yui's just making up flavors at one point.
Yeah, she starts making up flavors after the whole blue Hawaiian thing because that actually is a flavor. And then after she hears that, she starts making up like colors and locations.
Mediterranean purple.
Yeah, I'm not sure what blue Hawaiian flavor is, but like it is a real flavor.
It sounds like it would be like an alcoholic beverage flavor.
It's Kool-Aid.
Oh.
Like,
so
it's a
yeah, it's an
Kool-Aid
alcoholic
flavor.
beverage flavor.
Basically, yes.
So they go hang out there, and then the fireworks start going off, and they're like, we gotta go see the fireworks. And Yui's like, we gotta go. Come on, Azusa, let's go. And Azusa doesn't want it to be a dream again. And then eventually they just get separated, and she gets back or meets back up with Ui and June, and then they just go home.
Yep.
And then Azusa takes a bath and is like reflecting on everything. She's like, glad that wasn't a dream. But oh God, now here's the way of the world making me remember that, oh God, I'm going to be alone after this year. Oh God.
Yeah.
But June agrees to join the Light Music Club.
Yes.
As long as they get new members.
Yes.
So that she has that going for her, but she's also very sad. Yui gets her postcard from Azusa as she's eating tempura, and then sees that you should not eat tempura and shaved ice together. And she's like, Asanian, what do I do?
She's like having so many life regrets.
I just picture her being like friggin' Job and Arrested Development. Like, I've made a huge mistake.
Yep.
And
There's one thing I was going to ask you about this episode. Oh, was this the episode where they're talking to June about like what the club does, and they're like, oh yeah, we got to go on like a summer training thing. How did we get to do that? Oh, we have a budget because we don't have a lot of members.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't tell her that we went for
Yeah.
free.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Because that was funny to me.
So there you go. There's our kind of filler episode.
Yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Lots of sleep. I want lots of sleep.
I think it kind of works too. That like it is filler, but like if you try and dig deep into it, which is kind of strange to think about when you're talking about K-On!, but it's kind of like an episode where you get to really see like the anxieties and fears of Azusa and how she really likes the group dynamic that she has with the Light Music Club. And
she's afraid of being alone.
She's afraid of being alone, yes, and also that impending fear of like, oh God, after this year, I will be alone again. Like, this is going to suck. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know that it's just so much as filler as it is like lighthearted takes on like how she's feeling and her
Yeah, true.
anxieties. I liked it. I
Mhm.
thought it was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Although at first I was a little weirded out because like everything's a dream.
Yeah. It is like in that case, it is like a weird episode because of that. Like you have all these like dream sequences that are like just keep cutting into the episode. So compared to like everything else, like it is kind of like a little more of a bizarre episode. But like, yeah, it works.
It works.
It
I
works.
liked it. I enjoyed it.
This is also our final episode with the first opening and ending of season 2.
Thank God. Oof.
I know you're very sad to see those go. No more giant cake. No more
I
speedy
mean,
opening.
I didn't mind the ending. Like I thought the ending was fine.
It was the opening.
I could not do the opening. It was really, really bugging me.
Well, you know what? You no longer have to hear it.
I'm glad.
So next time we're going to be taking a short diversion in our episode route as we go to the very end of season 2, which sounds very strange.
It does sound strange, but we have a plan, guys.
We
I
do.
promise.
We've mentioned this quite a few times where we are doing a machete cut version of season 2. So for next episode, which is episode 28, we will be looking at episode 27, the OVA episode of season 2 called Plan. Because in the timeline, it basically lines up immediately with this episode. In the linear timeline of the series.
Yes. And it was really obvious when we were watching it. I was like, oh, yeah, this seems like it was just like an episode that belonged in the season.
It's a kind of an interesting episode, especially because like it does line up here in like the summer, specifically with this episode, but also it's a way to kind of hint at the movie.
The movie, that's what I figured it was doing.
So it has all that going for it. But that's what we're going to be discussing next week. So if you're a person who's watching along with us, please take note of that. As we will not be going to 14 next. We will be going to 27.
Programming notes.
So look forward to that next week. If you'd like more from us, go to seasonlanguagecheckup.com or sac.cool. It's where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Season Language Checkup and Season Language Checkup OVA. And you can find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She has columns and reviews. And you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/animecheckup. So next time, join us as we discuss the OVA of Season 2. It's Plan.
Plan! Bang.